African scientists, inventors, and innovators should therefore be courageous and willing to chart their own course, travel unknown paths, and not waste time and energy seeking validation from and trying to conform to what is already known. For there are many, many mysteries about life on earth and in creation that would confound the human mind. But we are all God in action, and all things imagined and yet to be imagined are possible in God's creation.
Africa, Kebulan. Africa, Kebulan. Africa, Kebulan. United as one. United as one. United as one.
Welcome back, my dear warriors of the Black Vibration, and welcome to those who resonate with the Black Vibration, and welcome dear guests and passers-by. This is part 6 of an urgent message from My Trinity for Africa and Africa in Diaspora, as it is vitally important and urgent that the peoples of the Black Vibration of Africa and Africa in Diaspora awaken, remember their divine mission, rise and fulfill that divine mission now. In this part 6, I provide information on the 7th divine principle of exemplification of the new consciousness, new energy civilization by the peoples of the Black Vibration of Africa and Africa in Diaspora, and the important tenets that govern it. The 7th divine attribute is exemplification. The culmination of the divine mission of the peoples of the Black Vibration of Africa and Africa in Diaspora is the triumphant and glorious divine outcome that demonstrates service by leadership. Mastery of the other 6 divine attributes enables the peoples of the Black Vibration to then undertake the 7th and final step, which is exemplification of their higher and deeper understanding of the divine archetypal living truths or principles. This requires that the peoples of the Black Vibration embody and find a tangible way to exemplify all the higher and deeper divine knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that they have acquired through their lived experience of the divine attributes of their divine mission. For a long, long time, human endeavors on earth have followed a natural rhythm in which civilizations rise in the East and set in the West. And right now, the whole world can see that there is a setting and a rising underway. This is a divine gift that presents the peoples of the Black Vibration of Africa and Africa in Diaspora the opportunity to use these fantastic divine energies of change to rise and fulfill their divine mission through the establishment of a new civilization that exemplifies all the divine knowledge and wisdom that they have acquired. In doing so, the peoples of the Black Vibration of Africa and Africa in Diaspora have to consider the following points. Point 1. This new civilization cannot simply be a mere copy of the current and setting civilization, which has served its purpose to advance the spiritual growth and evolution of humanity, but whose philosophies, policies, systems, and structures now no longer serve that purpose and are no longer sustainable, are no longer viable. Point 2. The peoples of the black vibration must build a civilization in which humans fully understand, accept, know, and implicitly trust in themselves as the personified God the Creator, the eternal, infinite, all that is, having an earthly experience as Trinity God in action, who know that all the guidance they require is to be obtained from their Trinity God within. Point 3. The peoples of the black vibration must build a civilization that exemplifies their unity, sovereignty, and freedom, and the attributes of responsibility that keeps unity, sovereignty, and freedom in divine dynamic balance. Point 4. The peoples of the black vibration must build a civilization where people treat themselves and all others with compassion, friendship, tolerance, forgiveness, gratitude, and love. Point 5. The peoples of the black vibration must build a new civilization that grows, evolves, and leads the way for humanity to transform into beings of light living on earth, an earth that they have also contributed to transforming into a world of light. Point 6. To commence this process, the peoples of the black vibration of Africa and Africa in Diaspora have to envision and create a new civilization based on enlightened ancient as well as new philosophies, science, technologies, policies, systems, and structures that honor all beings, be that the earth, be that the environment, be that humanity, and all beings that dwell on and in the earth. Basic practical first steps that we can begin to implement include the following points. Point A. Take back full control of our natural resources and use them to back our currencies and to manufacture or purchase infrastructure, technology, training, goods, services, equipment, and everything else that enables us to start developing this new civilization in Africa and the diaspora. Let us, peoples of the black vibration, be very clear in our minds and in our consciousness that these resources in the land of Africa are not there by happenstance, are not there by mistake, are not there by accident. Not at all. They are a divine gift to the peoples of the black vibration to use to fulfill their divine mission on this earth. And the time to do so is now. Point B. Therefore, within the land of Africa, the peoples of the black vibration of Africa and Africa in diaspora have everything that they require to create and establish the foundations of their new civilization and evolve from there. It is already there waiting for them. It has been there for ages and ages. We do not need to go begging, especially for financial resources, to accomplish our divine mission. That is why the very idea of us, the people of the black vibration, asking for and receiving reparations from the West for what is, after all, our fulfillment of our divine mission, our divine destiny, is totally sacrilegious and should not be countenanced. See part 7 of this series that provides information on this subject matter. Point C. Removing the borders of as many countries of Africa and combining countries to create larger blocks that make the most efficient, economical, and socially beneficial use of the resources of the land, including infrastructure, technology, training, goods, services, and trade. A wonderful example of this is already manifesting before our eyes in the form of the Confederation of Sahelian States of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. The rest of Africa should quickly follow suit. Point D. The invention or innovation of homegrown or other technologies and streamlined processes to establish seamless internal and external trade and other relations. Point E. The establishment of a common language for Africa. The sooner this is done, the better. It does not threaten the existence of any African language. It merely introduces or establishes an African language that all Africans everywhere in the continent can use to better and more quickly communicate, trade, better exchange ideas, and better appreciate and express appreciation for everything that we have to offer to one another in Africa and Africa in diaspora, thus greatly promoting that urgently needed unity of the peoples of the black vibration. Point F. The pursuit of research by Africans in Africa and Africa in diaspora to discover, create, invent, or innovate ancient and new African and other technologies that serve the peoples of the black vibration in fulfilling their divine destiny. Point G. In that regard, it can never be overstated that African scientists, inventors, and innovators must learn to or must regain trust in themselves. They must remember the importance of honoring the human imagination and its capacity to create, and of honoring one's inner knowing, one's intuition, and the knowledge and wisdom that they impart to us, as these gifts are the source and the food for human creativity and invention and innovation of the kind of education, science, and technology required for the establishment, maintenance, and evolution of the new civilization. African scientists, inventors, and innovators should therefore be courageous and willing to chart their own course, travel unknown paths, and not waste time and energy seeking validation from and trying to conform to what is already known. For there are many, many mysteries about life on earth and in creation that would confound the human mind. But we are all God in action, and all things imagined and yet to be imagined are possible in God's creation. Point H. Technology makes many things possible and simplifies streamlines, and brings consistency to structures, systems, and processes, resulting in greater speed, efficiency, and accuracy. It assists in maintaining impartiality, equality, and privacy, and it contributes greatly to the fun, excitement, elegance, and ease of life. It contributes to living a life of sophisticated simplicity. Point I. However, all this is true of technology only when it is used to serve humanity and not used to subjugate humanity to serving it. The new consciousness, new energy civilization must never abandon or compromise this principle. Continuing now with point 8. One of the most important and urgent areas of research that African scientists, inventors, and innovators must undertake is the search for a source of free energy that makes society free from the need to exploit fossil fuels and that frees Africa from the exploitation and control of foreign powers as it endeavors to access energy for its own development. Interesting developments are already taking place in this area of human endeavor in Africa, and the peoples of the Black vibration must do everything to support their own scientists, inventors, and innovators and help bring their inventions to fruition. Point 9. One of the most important realizations that the peoples of the Black vibration make as they set about to fulfill their divine mission and destiny through exemplifying leadership through service that then evolves and expands into service by leadership is the fact that the new civilization they are establishing cannot simply be a copy of the civilization they have just been living. The new civilization must reflect and exemplify a reality that vibrates at the new and elevated frequency of their expanded consciousness. Point 10. This expanded and elevated consciousness enables the peoples of the Black vibration to fully understand, accept, know, and implicitly trust in themselves as personified expressions of God the Creator, the eternal, infinite, all that is, having an earthly experience as Trinity God in action. This further brings about the following realizations and their acceptance. Point A, that the peoples of the Black vibration and all human and other beings are divine co-creators of life, Mother Earth, the universe, and creation. Point B, therefore, that all beings are created equal and are valuable beyond measure. Point C, therefore, as divine co-creators, all human beings are created equal and are valuable beyond measure and have the God-given right to exist and thrive here on Mother Earth. Point D, therefore, the peoples of the Black vibration of Africa, Africa in Diaspora, and the rest of humanity have the God-given right to enjoy in equal measure the beauty and bounty that Mother Earth offers to all those who dwell on and in her. Point E. Therefore, that the natural state of being for all beings here on earth is that of abundance, be that in good health, wealth, happiness, knowledge, experience, freedom, and wisdom. Even as we step out of these natural states to experience their opposites in all sorts of adventures in the game of duality, unification, and integration in divine dynamic balance. Continuing now with point 11. In conclusion, therefore, there is no need to use the artificial medium of money to define the value of anyone or anything, as is the practice today in the current civilization. Point 12. Therefore, the use of money and monetary values and all its policies, regulations, systems, and structures no longer apply and cease to exist in the societies of the new consciousness, new energy civilization in Africa and Africa in diaspora, and ultimately in the whole world. Point 13. The peoples of the black vibration of Africa and Africa in diaspora therefore create a new civilization based on the new philosophy in which, as all beings are of equal value, and therefore money and all its related systems, institutions, and values cease to exist, the current unrelenting pursuit of profit and all the other money based values that currently underpin human civilization and that motivate human society today are replaced by a new standard, that of the pursuit of excellence in service to self and in service to all beings. This is an important aspect of the new civilization that changes everything. This new approach to life and to living brings about a tremendous change in people's lives. It creates a tremendous increase in the mental, emotional, and physical well being of the populace and in their morale and enthusiasm. And because people can now engage in work that they genuinely like to do, as opposed to working in order to earn a living, they are highly motivated. This leads to a tremendous birth in creativity and problem solving. People now take a lot of pride in what they do and desire to do it in the best, most efficient, most effective, most humane, most beneficial, and most earth friendly way possible. And they set out to find ways to accomplish this. This leads to new attitudes and approaches to doing things. It leads to the invention of new tools, processes, systems, and structures. And as a result, the way we live changes completely. And a new consciousness, new energy civilization is born. This concludes part 6 of this message. In part 7, I bring a very urgent and important message about the issue of financial reparations to the peoples of the black vibration in Africa and in Africa in diaspora. Afruika al-Kebulan, Afruika al-Kebulan, Afruika al-Kebulan. United as one, united as one, united as one. By the power of 3, the peoples of the black vibration are enlightened, sovereign, and free, and they fulfill their divine mission and they fulfill their divine destiny. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is in golden dust. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Africa, Kebulan. Africa, Kebulan. Africa, Kebulan. United as one. United as one. United as one. By the power of three, we the peoples of the black vibration of Africa and of Africa in the diaspora are enlightened, sovereign and free. And we fulfill our divine mission, and we fulfill our divine destiny. Africa, Kebulan. Africa, Kebulan. Africa, Kebulan. United as one. United as one.